everybody, it's Jamie from No Getting Off This Train, and I am back with another Dollar Tree Meals video, and this time it is using all shelf-stable foods. First of all, I want to say sorry that I'm in like a weird position right now. Allison is doing online school and there's someone else in the house doing some work, so I need to hold myself in Allison's room. So this is just a taste of real life, people. So anyway, welcome to October's edition of the Dollar Tree Meal series. Each month I try and do 3 different Dollar Tree meals for you guys to enjoy. Now, if you have not seen any of my other videos, check the link in my description to see the entire playlist of all the videos that I've done so far. So each month I try to do something different. I know one month was all desserts, another month I did a $10 challenge where I tried to do 3 different meals using only $10. This month, somebody requested that I try and do a challenge using only shelf-stable foods, because I've had a lot of comments of people saying, well, this is all great and all, but my Dollar Tree doesn't have a freezer section. So I wanted to try and make 3 meals that did not use any frozen or refrigerated items, and that was kind of hard. You'll see here in a few minutes, but yeah, definitely hard to find something that is not frozen or refrigerated. Now I have 3 different criteria when it comes to these Dollar Tree meals. Number 1, these meals need to cost $5 or less. And some people ask, well, why? Why do you want to do $5 for a meal? Really, I feel like $5 is a pretty good price for a dinner. And once you start buying more and more things from Dollar Tree to raise the price, like once you get into $7 or $8 for a meal, you're kind of better off going to a grocery store for some of those items. Because yes, these items might be $1, but you're not getting a big size for whatever you're buying. You can find it cheaper and in a bigger size at grocery stores. So I'm trying to keep it at right around the $5 mark. My second criteria is that it needs to feed at least 3 or 4 people. We are a family of 3, and Allison doesn't really eat the dinner that I give her anyway. So really 3 or 4 people, it gives us enough for leftovers for the next day. And then criteria number 3 is that it needs to be reasonably healthy. We like to follow an 80-20 approach where we try to eat mostly whole foods, lots of vegetables, and then the other 20% we save for treats and like pizza, as you're about to see. Now some of these meals fit the 80, some of them fit the 20, so you'll see here in a few minutes. And I do want to bring up something because I've gotten a few comments on some of the meals that I've made, because I use spices that I have at home to season some of the stuff that I make, and sometimes I'll use like a little bit of butter or maybe an egg or something like that. And these people bring up a really good point. They say, well, you should probably account for those spices at some point. So I'm going to try during these next 3 meals that you're going to see to say, okay, well, if you want to set aside $1 for spices, if you need to stock up on a spice, here's the ingredient you should get rid of. So if you really want to keep it at $5 and if you really want to get specific about it, then yeah, I'll show you what you can get rid of. I did make a big mistake in meal number 3, which you'll see here in a minute, but I don't think I'm personally going to take out like $1 here or there. But like I said, during the video, I'll say you can get rid of this ingredient or that ingredient to make up for the things that you're going to use. Really, I do my best to make them all purely Dollar Tree ingredients and only use those 5 ingredients, but sometimes you really just need the spice. All right, so let's get into the meals that I'm going to make. Number 1 is a chicken Alfredo pizza. Number 2 is chickpea curry, and number 3 is lentil soup. So let me take you through the store and show you what I bought for my first 2 meals. All right, let's get into it. So the first meal I was looking for was the chickpea curry. I didn't realize that Dollar Tree had coconut milk, so I was so excited to find this. Basically the same thing that you would find at the grocery store, and it's only $1, so a really good deal. Next, I was looking for chickpeas. I grabbed 2 cans of chickpeas. They are super high in fiber and protein and super delicious in the curry. And I was looking for another vegetable to add to it, and the recipe that I usually use also includes carrots, so I just grabbed some carrots to go in there as well. And then I needed rice. I love that Dollar Tree has brown rice. This is a 2-pound bag for $1, so there goes all of that. And then looking for the pizza stuff, you guys said you love that pizza crust, and I will agree with you. I also grabbed a can of the Alfredo sauce. Like I said, it's not all that healthy, but this is like the 20% of the meal. I also grabbed 2 cans of chicken. Looking at the can, I believe it said it serves 2 or 2.5, so I grabbed 2 cans just to make sure I could cover the entire pizza. Then I was looking for, oh gosh, something, breadsticks, because breadsticks go with pizza, right? But I couldn't go into the freezer section. So looking at all the bread, I was looking around and look at this. Crescent rolls? They looked really, really good, and they're kind of like breadsticks, right? So it's a 10-pack, so I grabbed one of those, and there we go. So the first meal I ended up making was the pizza. So I had the oven preheated to I think it was like 400 or something like that. So opened up the pizza crust. I actually do like this crust because it was super good and feeds 3 people, I think. So I put it on my little pizza rack and yeah. It was already cracked when I took it out, I promise. But we will adapt and overcome. So I kind of pieced it back together. It's gonna be okay. Next, I opened up the can of Alfredo sauce, and the serving size is a 1/4 cup. So since we planned on serving 3 people from that, I used 3/4 of a cup and pour that right on the pizza. The rest of it, I'm actually going to use to dip the crescent rolls in. Like I said, guys, not the healthiest, but it was super delicious. I also opened up the cans of chicken at this point and spread them all across to try and make it as even as possible. Now, if you wanted to, you could probably buy some Parmesan cheese instead of a can of chicken and put some Parmesan on there as well. I think that would be really good too. So yeah, it's a super simple pizza, but like I said, you could add a couple more things to it if you wanted to spend more than $5. So I stuck that in the oven for about 10 minutes, I believe, and I got out 6 of these. A serving size is 2, so I got out 2 for each of us. I just stuck them right in with the pizza just to let them heat up. And then I put in an extra 1/4 cup of Alfredo sauce in little containers and just heated those up in the microwave. Like I said, I used that for the crescent rolls and any extra pizza that we had left over. So I was going to cut these into triangles, but due to the little mess up here, I cut them in squares, kind of like Casano's pizza or Marion's pizza. I don't know if you have any local Ohioans here, but yeah, it still worked out. I cut them into 9 pieces, not very equal, but I put 3 on a plate, as well as the crescent rolls, and then the sauce to go with it. Now, seriously, we actually enjoyed this meal. Like I said, totally not the healthiest, but it was still pretty good. Allison liked the crescent rolls at least, so that was good. Overall, yeah, I think I would probably make something similar again. It could definitely use some Parmesan cheese, maybe some extra vegetables, but for $5, really, it wasn't all that bad. Going into the chickpea curry now, I first started off with some rice in the rice cooker. I believe this was 1 full cup of rice, so I just added a little bit of salt and put it in my rice cooker. And using the brown rice setting, I think it took about an hour and a half. So making the curry, I opened up all the cans. I also drained and rinsed the chickpeas and the carrots because they have extra sodium in them, and I just wanted to kind of rinse that off real quick. So then I added everything into the pot there and let that simmer for a while. So I think I let it cook for like 15, maybe 20 minutes. That was just enough time. And then here we go. I'm adding a whole bunch of seasonings, salt, pepper. If I had had curry powder, I would have used it, but I think I used like chili powder and cumin, garlic powder, onion powder, just a little bit of this and that. So yes, you could probably take out a can of chickpeas if you wanted to get some extra seasoning. That would make it $5. But after about 15 minutes, it was nice and bubbly and just about ready to go. I'm going to leave the nutrition info for you as well, like I did with the pizza. So I started off by putting about a cup of the rice in a bowl, and then I went back and forth with the curry. I did about a cup at a time, and I think I got maybe a cup and a half or so out of it, but honestly, this was actually a good meal. It was nice and filling, full of protein from the chickpeas, also full of fiber. The carrots were kind of soft due to them being canned, so I think I might use fresh carrots next time, but overall, I would totally do this again. Now, for the lentil soup, so I'm glad that I have lentils here. A whole $1 for this huge bag of lentils. I ended up not using the whole bag, but dried lentils are super high in protein and fiber, just like chickpeas. I also grabbed some chicken broth, so this is not a vegan meal because of that, but if you can find vegetable broth for your soup, go ahead and grab that instead. Then I also grabbed some diced tomatoes. I wanted some sort of like a tomatoey sauce to it. And then I was also looking for some extra vegetables to add, so I found like a can of the vegetable blend. Honestly, I would not get that again. I think it was just fine without it. I was also looking for a side item, and I found this cheesy garlic biscuit mix. And look at the ingredients. It needs butter and shredded cheese and milk, but I'm pretty sure the ingredients have cheese in it anyway, so I am going to attempt my own thing with it. So here's all 5 ingredients. Let me show you how I make the soup. So I started off by taking 2 cups of the lentils. I put them into a colander just to rinse them off and look for any rocks. You want to look for rocks when you are making dried beans or lentils. So I added them to my pot, as well as all of the vegetables like the diced tomatoes and the vegetables. I actually drained the vegetables first before adding them in. And as you'll see later, I should have used a bigger pot, but I didn't think about that at the time. And once again, I did add some other seasonings to it. So like I said, you can get rid of the canned veggies and just get an extra seasoning or something like that. I used salt and pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, I think some chili powder as well. Now, okay, the biscuit mix. So I am just going to try to use milk instead of using the butter and cheese because I'm already cheating enough as it is. So I added just the powdered mix to the bowl, and it said use 7 teaspoons of milk. So I started out with the 7 teaspoons and just kind of mixed it together to see how that would look. I don't know, I'm not really following a recipe. I'm just kind of doing my own thing here. It ended up needing some more milk, so I think I added a total of an extra tablespoon or something like that. Yeah, so once I added the last bit of milk, the dough is ready to go. Now these are drop biscuits, which means you literally just drop them onto the pan and bake them. They kind of look like the Cheddar Bay biscuits from Red Lobster. Oh, just kind of without the cheddar in it. But I mean, they look like regular drop biscuits, so I'm going to stick them in the oven for 10 minutes and see how that goes. So as you can see, this pot is not big enough. I forgot how much the lentils expand when they cook. So next time, instead of using just the 4 cups of broth, I probably add like 6 or 8 cups to it. But here are the biscuits. After 10 minutes, they are brown on top, they're browned on the bottom, they look like the Cheddar Bay biscuits. So I started off with, I think it was 2 cups of the soup. As you can see, there's not a whole lot of broth. And so when I looked at the nutrition info, this soup was only 200 calories per serving, which is not enough for dinner. So yes, as you can see, I cheated big time. I needed to add some more fat to it because that was 0 grams of fat for the soup. So I added some shredded cheddar cheese and some sour cream. The biscuit, it didn't have a whole lot of a cheese flavor, very huge garlic flavor though. So, I mean, it was good, but next time I will make it according to the recipe. So yes, as you can see, there's a lot of extra stuff that went into this soup, but I do recommend making it this way if you have like the extra money to spend on some cheese and sour cream. Hopefully you found a little bit of inspiration for your next meals. Like I said, these are things aren't very fancy, but you do what you can with what you have at Dollar Tree, and it was a little difficult finding only shelf-stable ingredients just because there weren't a lot of vegetables. But it was a fun challenge, and I would probably do it again. But speaking of challenges, I want you guys to leave me a comment and let me know, what do you want to see for November? I'm thinking about doing another $10 challenge to see if I can make 3 more meals using only $10. If you have any other suggestions, please let me know because I love reading your comments and doing videos based on them. I do read them, I do comment back, and I do actually listen to you guys, so I appreciate all of your feedback. And to make sure you don't miss any more of these Dollar Tree meal videos, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, ring that bell because that will give you notifications on when these videos come out, and also whenever my grocery hauls come out or my recipes or other meal planning tips. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you later.